Jerry and Kareen from Tampa, Florida. Maybe white people are stealing the black hair care products. Is that racist?
888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. Well, they have cameras, so I got a feeling they have an idea who might be taking stuff. Anyway, we are talking about the President's State of the Union speech. That was very well delivered, very well received, certainly. The flash poll from CBS put it at a 75% approval rating. That's pretty high. And even at NBC, the people who liked it outnumbered the people who didn't like it by a 2-to-1 margin. That's pretty huge. I don't think any of the debate performances you ever got an approval rating like that. So he was talking about his plans for overhauling immigration.
That means building a great wall on the southern border, and it means hiring more heroes like CJ to keep our communities safe. Crucially, our plan closes the terrible loopholes exploited by criminals and terrorists to enter our country, and it finally ends the horrible and dangerous practice of catch and release. The third pillar ends the visa lottery, a program that randomly hands out green cards without any regard for skill, merit, or the safety of American people.
We come back, we will play the reaction for you from our friends at CNN and MSNBC Hee Haw. They had a very different reaction to the speech, surprisingly enough. Democrats booed during Trump's chain migration comments, and Hillary has apologized for not doing something about the campaign staffer who sexually harassed a woman after she was informed of this. Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, a very special offer for Larry Elder listeners, 800-890-18... 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. Larry Elder here. Later on, I'm going to be on the Geraldo, on the Hannity show with Geraldo. Maybe this time he'll let me complete a sentence. We're going to be discussing the Congressional Black Caucus's reaction to the State of the Union speech, and also that Representative Luis Gutierrez from Illinois walked out while they were chanting USA, USA, USA. We'll be talking about that, so you might want to tune in. We have been talking about the State of the Union speech and how the part about immigration, which seems like it should be something that both sides should be able to do a deal on, they're not. And we've been talking about how the fact that Democrats used to say pretty much the same kinds of things about illegal immigration as Trump did. You had people like Harry Reid and Bill Clinton and even Barack Obama all essentially mouthing the same kinds of words as were said about illegal immigration by Donald Trump. And yet now we find that the same position, when echoed by somebody like Trump, is perceived to be racist. And it's really quite extraordinary, isn't it? We were talking about also this man named Peter Beinart. Peter Beinart is a very well-respected lefty, and he wrote a column last year called How the Democrats Lost Their Way on Immigration. And the subheadline is, in the past decade, liberals have avoided inconvenient truths about the issue being the issue of illegal immigration. And the reason I've been spending so much time on it is because the guy is such an influential intellect within the left-wing community. And he starts out by saying, and we said this last segment, that, look, he quoted people like Barack Obama, for crying out loud. and left-wing people like Paul Krugman, the left-wing columnist for the New York Times, who can't stand Republicans, hated George W. Bush, hated George Herbert Walker Bush, couldn't stand Ronald Reagan, voted twice for Obama. And even he talked about the problem with illegal immigration. And so what happened, he says, what happened is votes. We played a segment. We're going to play another one. This is not Peter Beinart speaking. I've seen him on TV. This is not his voice, but these are his words.
This combination of Latino and corporate activism made it perilous for Democrats to discuss immigration's costs, as Bernie Sanders learned the hard way. In July 2015, 2 months after officially announcing his candidacy for president, Sanders was interviewed by Ezra Klein, the editor-in-chief of Vox. Klein asked whether, in order to fight...
Now, notice how recent this conversion is. You're talking about Bernie Sanders in 2015, for crying out loud. What is it, 2018? So just 3 years ago, he was saying the same kind of stuff Trump was saying. And then they pulled him and said, whoa! Ho, where are you going?
Chief of Vox. Klein asked whether, in order to fight global poverty, the U.S. should consider sharply raising the level of immigration we permit, even up to a level of open borders. Sanders reacted with horror. That's a Koch brothers proposal, he scoffed. He went on to insist that right-wing people in this country would love an open border policy. Bring in all kinds of people, work for $2 or $3 an hour, that would be great for them. I don't believe in that. I think we have to raise wages in this country. Sanders came under immediate attack. Vox's Dylan Matthews declared that his fear of immigrant labor is ugly and wrong-headed. The president of Forward U.S. accused Sanders of the sort of backward-looking thinking that progressives have rightly moved away from in the past years. Think Progress published a blog post titled, "Why Immigration is the Hole in Bernie Sanders' Progressive Agenda." The senator, it argued, was supporting the idea that immigrants coming to the U.S. are taking jobs and hurting the economy, a theory that has been proven incorrect. Sanders stopped emphasizing immigration's costs. By January 2016, Forward U.S.'s policy director noted with satisfaction that he had evolved on this issue.
You got that? This is how recent the pressure has been to convert to the policy that I think could probably be called open borders, because you're resisting doing anything about it. My goodness. And this is a guy on your side. This is as if Ann Coulter wrote a column and said, "Hey, you know, we've been way too unreasonable on immigration. We have to loosen it up. We have to let people come in. Are you kidding me?" And Obama, Bill Clinton, Trump, Harry Reid used to mouth each other's words.
Those who enter the country illegally and those who employ them disrespect the rule of law, and they are showing disregard for those who are following the law.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers.
We have to listen to the concerns that working people, our forgotten working people, have over the record pace of immigration and its impact on their jobs, wages, housing, schools, tax bills, and general living conditions. These are valid concerns expressed by decent and patriotic citizens from all backgrounds, all over.
If making it easy to be an illegal alien isn't enough, how about offering a reward for being an illegal immigrant? No sane country would do that, right?
In approaching immigration reform, I believe we must enact tough, practical reforms that ensure and promote the legal and orderly entry of immigrants into our country.
We will turn off the jobs and benefits magnet. We will ensure that E-Verify is used to the fullest extent possible under existing law, and we will work with Congress to strengthen and expand its use across the country.
We all agree on the need to better secure the border and to punish employers who choose to hire illegal immigrants.
That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more by hiring a record number of new border guards. by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before.
Zero tolerance for criminal aliens. Zero. Moving forward, we will issue detainers for illegal immigrants who are arrested for any crime whatsoever, and they will be placed into immediate removal proceedings.
We will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan.
I continue to believe that we need stronger enforcement on the border and at the workplace. That means a workable, mandatory system that employers must use to verify the legality of their workers.
If you break our laws by entering this country without permission and give birth to a child, we reward that child with U.S. citizenship and guarantee of full access to all public and social services this society provides. And that's a lot of services. Is it any wonder that 2/3 of the babies born at taxpayer expense at county-run hospitals in Los Angeles are born to illegal alien mothers?
So, that's why we need to start by giving agencies charged with border security new technology, new facilities, and more people to stop, process, and deport illegal immigrants.
By cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens.
Our enforcement priorities will include removing criminals, gang members, security threats, visa overstays.
That's the kind of rhetoric that even left-wing people used to use. When we come back, Democrats booed Trump during his comments about chain migration. Over at ABC, MSNBC, and CNN, man, it was almost suicide watch.
Larry Elder, all true, all devastating.
Billionaires, 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 billionaires. I am not a billionaire. Millionaires, 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 and billionaires at the same time. Millionaires and billionaires, millionaires and billionaires, millionaires and billionaires, millionaires and billionaires, millionaires.
So JFK, not JFK, Joe Kennedy III, who is the grandson of Robert Kennedy, gave the rebuttal. I have no idea what his net worth is, but don't you love it when Kennedy talks about high CEO salaries, income inequality?
We choose an economy strong enough to boast record stock prices and brave enough to admit that top CEOs making 300 times their average worker is not right.
How much more do you think Julia Roberts earns than the average stagehand when she does a movie, or Matt Damon or Ben Affleck, any of the other A-listers that blast away about income inequality? Really? And why is it people aren't concerned about the high salary that people like Carlos Giancano has? He's the highest paid baseball player. Makes more money than I think even A-Rod did. I think it's about $25 or $30 million a year. To play baseball. Is that Giancarlo Stanton. I was talking about an actor, right? Carlos Giancarlo is an actor. Giancarlo Stanton is a baseball player for the Miami Marlins. Thank you. He's now with the Yankees. Anyway, he is a great baseball player, and when he was with the Marlins, certainly he was making more than the last paid ball player, let alone the guy working in the locker room. So clearly we have to do something about that. Or is it you're only concerned about CEOs? And the average CEO of a Fortune 500 company doesn't even last that long. Pretty high turnover. Jobs are kind of stressful, you know. And one more time, you have a government official butting his nose into the private sector. If a company wants to, quote, overpay a CEO, what business is that of yours if it's a private company? It's the business of the shareholders. And if they want to do something about it, they will. They choose to, quote, overpay somebody, it's on them. The idea is to have a thriving economy, so if you feel as a worker you are underpaid, you can go somewhere else. You can have other alternatives. You can have other options. That's why we should lower taxes and lower regulations so that people have options if they feel they're being underpaid or mistreated. You see, that's how it works. But I guess he wouldn't know that since he was, as they said about George W., born on third base and thought he hit a triple. Also, Luis Gutierrez walks out. Now, it's not uncommon to boycott a State of the Union speech. It is uncommon to walk out. And in 8 years, did anybody walk out of an Obama Soto? Anybody walk out of one of his speeches? This is a guy who pulled all the troops one more time out of Iraq over the objections of his entire national security team. Certainly Republicans supported the war, still do. So he was doing it against the wishes of Republicans. He did it against the wishes of John McCain, against the wishes of Lindsey Graham. Did any of those guys walk out? And if they had, what do you think would have happened? You know what would have happened? Racism! And I once again say, has there been, when Obama was in office, was there a Maxine Waters type lawmaker who couldn't stand him and blasted away the way she does? Was there somebody like Frederica Wilson? Was there? Was there somebody like Al Wilson? Where were these people? They would have been deemed racist. And you know it.